Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I'm in Vancouver still. The last video kind of got cut short a little bit, but I'm here on the 46th floor of an apartment building, not actually in Vancouver. Vancouver City is out there and we're probably about 20 kilometers out from the city in a suburb called Burquitlam. We're doing a house sit out here, which is a great way to travel if you want to reduce the cost of your accommodation and you want to travel more long term. So we're house sitting, looking after a whippet and a cat at the moment, which is very nice. It's nice to have some animal friends as we're like traveling around and stuff. But yeah, we're staying in this beautiful new apartment building, and I wanted to show you guys a little bit of what life is like here in Canada. This seems to be fairly common around this area. There's lots of apartment buildings, and this is just the rooftop terrace. As you can see, it's all pretty new. Some of the furniture has not even been finished, like being set up. This is kind of the garden area. Super nice, really like modern luxury apartments. And we've got a whole pool table, like dining area, this whole area out here for entertaining as well. But as you'll be able to see around from our rooftop aspect up here, there's lots of apartment buildings around, lots going around. There's cranes going up, we can see down there there's a sky train, and I think that is the reason why these satellite cities have become so popular or so developed, I guess. I'm guessing it's because the SkyTrain provides quick access to get to the city. So if you work in the city or you need to be in the city, you can get to the city in, I'd say, under an hour, which is pretty cool. And it's pretty cheap as well. I think it cost us around $7 to get from the city out to here when we came here. So super cheap option. And there's heaps of satellite cities around Vancouver, which you can see out in the horizon over there. There's another one there. There's a little one just here, and you can't see it on this side of the building, but on the other side there's other ones out there as well. But you can also see more construction going on this side. There's a crane right down here doing a bit of work. A couple of cranes out there, another one in the distance, more. Yeah, there's lots of apartment buildings out here. The residential development in this area is on steroids, it seems. There's actually a university at the top of that hill. I think that's Burnaby Mountain right there, and there's a university at the top, so there's a lot of students around this area as well. Yeah, so I just wanted to kind of like show you guys what the quality of life is like, or can be like, and I don't know, maybe get some feedback as well from like local Canadians if this is like how a lot of Canadians live. But I'll show you inside a little bit because there's some people working in there, but I'll show you what it looks like. Like super nice in here. More buildings out there. We've got a nice pool table here as well. Big screen TV, and then all of the blinds in here, they're actually controlled by this system here, which is super cool. You can just like open, close all the blinds, play music, control the lighting. Everything's very high tech. Yeah, super nice. Super nice, like modern building. Anyway, I'll take you downstairs and show you a little bit more, because there's many more amenities in this. And I was speaking to some locals yesterday who were in the sauna. There's a sauna here, and they were actually just visiting their grandfather who bought a place here. and their grandfather paid $800,000 Canadian dollars for a 1-bedroom apartment. So pretty, I mean, kind of expensive, but for the quality that you get and the standard of living, like, it's very comfortable here. We've been here for probably just over a week now, and it's been super nice. We're staying on the 44th floor, so it's a bit of a long lift ride to get up and down, and because we're dog sitting, we have to take the dog out of the apartment to go for walks, to go toilet. It's a bit of an up and down process, but the lift, I mean, it's not too long. That was top floor to bottom floor now. I'll show you the lobby area because it is super nice as well. How nice is that? I love that. It's not fire, it's just like steam, or like, I don't know, water vapor. But yeah, super nice. You can come down here, work. There's like high-speed Wi-Fi, plugs. It's like just a really nice, like, common space areas. And then I'll show you, there's more to it. This is another, like, common space area. Look at this. It's like this massive, it's like an apartment in itself. You've got a huge TV, a massive sofa, again, controls for all the amenities on these devices, big dining table, kitchen, you can entertain here. There's barbecues outside. So we've got barbecues out here. There's a little like mini putt course down here. And then outside, really nice swimming pool area. And then we've also got what else have we got? There's a sauna and a steam room in there. I'll show you inside and I'll check if there's no one in there, because I don't think the people want to be filmed when in the sauna and steam room. But it's super nice in there. And again, there's another like hangout spot down here as well. So there's lots of like cool areas to hang out. Like you saw, there was on the rooftop, you had the pool table, and then down here you've got a ping pong table and foosball as well. So this is like an area where you can just come and hang out as well, play a bit of ping pong. The rackets are in there, bats, and then swimming pool. But yeah, super nice. So I don't know if this is like the new standard of living for Canadians. I'm not sure, but this is a new build. I think people only moved into it last year. Let's have a look in the sauna. Super nice. Yeah, there's no one in the sauna. Look at that. So I've been in the sauna every day. It's been really, really nice. And there's also a steam room as well, which is very, very humid. But yeah, super luxurious. There's a hot tub outside, so whatever you feel like you want to do, hot tub, sauna, steam room, you can do it all. It's just for all the residents here and their guests as well. So it's been a lovely little stay here, enjoying that. There's also a gym upstairs, which I won't go and film because there's probably going to be people in there, but it's all like the latest equipment, techno gym stuff. So if you have a membership, you can like sign into all the things and like track your workouts. There's also a yoga room upstairs, which is super nice just to do some like workouts if you like work out from an app or anything like that. So the whole experience here, house sitting in this random little satellite suburb, has been really nice. But yeah, like I said, Look at all the apartment buildings around. There's the cranes down there. There's more. I'll take you for a little walk around the suburb and give you an idea of what sort of things are going on here. I still think there's a lot of room for more development. There needs to be, I would say, more cafes. There's like Tim Hortons, Starbucks, and there's a bakery, and there's a little cafe like inside one of the gyms, or there's a YMCA here. So I think there's more room for like things like that, places where people can go and have a nice coffee, have a nice meal. But there's a lot of dentists around, which is interesting. I don't know why there's a lot of dentists, but there's like 8 within like a couple of block radius of where we're staying. At least 8. There might even be more. But yeah, loads of dentists here. But yeah, that's where we were just a minute ago. All the way up the top there. The top of that building. And then this building here is kind of like the little brother. So they share the amenities, the swimming pool, the hot tub and all that as well. But yeah, super nice. Really, really nice little suburb. Burquitlam. I tell people about this place where we're staying and they're like, is that somewhere near Burnaby or Coquitlam? Because it's like a combination of the two names, Burnaby and Coquitlam. Yeah, it seems to be like they've just mashed up the two names to make Burquitlam. But yeah, cool little suburb, as I said, connected by the SkyTrain here, which runs into the city and also to other places around. So you can get to the airport or you can go to the city. Dentist. We'll have a little dentist counter going on. Yeah, and the cool thing about the SkyTrain as well is it's not underground. Obviously it's above ground, that's why it's the SkyTrain. And you get to have a bit of a view around these places that you're coming through as you like traveling out to these like random little satellite cities. But it seems that as you're going to each stop on the SkyTrain, you'll get to the next stop and it'll be surrounded by apartment buildings. So like I said, that's why I think these satellite cities are under such intensive development at the moment. Obviously there's probably less restrictions as there is in Vancouver. And yeah, people with capital know that people need places to live. There's a university nearby. It's like an up and coming suburb. But yeah, check it out. This is what I'm seeing right now. I feel like this suburb is nearly like sponsored by the SkyTrain, because if it wasn't for the SkyTrain, I don't think this suburb would be as like residential or as developed as it is right now. The SkyTrain is kind of like allowed that or encouraged that. I'm not sure if that happened after the SkyTrain was built or it happened because the SkyTrain got announced to be built, then all of these buildings started going up. But yeah, as you can see, a lot of people still drive. I think North America is like a very drivable place. Loads of cars on the road. Not just any cars, big cars as well. They love a big truck here in North America. The good thing about that is when you're parking, car park spaces are really easy to park in. So yeah, there's obviously new stuff popping up as well. This is a brunchy lunch place, which will be coming soon. We've got an Anytime Fitness upstairs, 24-hour gym. But there's still a few places like at the bottom of these apartment buildings which are, I guess, like vacant, where they haven't had any tenants move in to run cafes or businesses. But yeah, cool little place to hang out. Lots of opportunity, you know, for growth, for businesses, for people to take a risk, start a new thing. There's another dentist up here. 2 dentists already. You can hear the SkyTrain running above me. So there's still, is that another dentist? Yep. In the bottom of these apartment buildings as well, I noticed that there's a lot of advertising still for like apartments, and the one that I keep seeing, or the like catchphrase that they use, is move in today. So I think there's a lot of places in these new buildings that are still empty, and yeah, just trying to encourage people to move in, whether that's like renters or like people to buy. You can see it on the building up there. It says like rental homes. So yeah, still loads of apartments available if you're looking to move to the area. And I think a lot of the older stuff here, like from our apartment that we're staying in now, you can see a lot of like older, more traditional homes. They're sitting like, obviously they're so far down from where we are up on the 44th floor, and I reckon that a lot of them are just going to get bought up by developers as these apartments are going up. And even these like little shopping malls I've seen on the areas around the perimeter of these places, they have like kind of like those planning permission, like what do they call them, like it's an application to register like public interest or discussion, if you wanted to like have your say on what gets developed in this area. So this whole like kind of strip mall kind of area, I think, is tentatively about to be developed as well. But yeah, you can see this is more like traditional little like shopping centre for these smaller little suburbs, I guess. There's a nice new building up there, that one's super nice. And then the amenities here is quite cool as well, because you've got little like dog park areas, little like outdoor gyms you can access. All of these things are kind of like on the side of these new apartment buildings. So I don't know if that's like a condition of the proposed development, but they do contribute to the overall amenities of the community, with like some green spaces, some areas where you can take your dog, go for walks. Yeah, it's quite nice. It just kind of, I feel like it enriches the community. And I've personally, like, we've only been there for a week, but I've had a few connections and conversations with people like in the sauna or in the lift, even people talking to me about the dog. I don't know, it's kind of, yeah, if you want to, you can make this community feel really nice. I know a lot of people talk about apartment buildings kind of being quite insular, how people don't get to know their neighbours and stuff, but at the end of the day I feel like that's a conscious choice that people make. There's a SkyTrain. They're quite cool, eh? Quite a cool little system. They're like super regular as well, like every 6 minutes they run. But yeah, this, not quite sure how old the SkyTrain is, but I know that this area over the last 5 to 10 years, that's when it's really like picked up in terms of development. That's when a lot of these new shops are over here. The bank, they went in about 5 years ago or 7 years ago, and then probably all these other ones as well. That's like the biggest building I think in the area. And then there's a big shopping centre here. This is Safeway, which is like a big Canadian store. Another dentist over here. I think we've missed a couple along the way, but yeah, lots of dentists. But yeah, as you can see, this is what it's like in the suburbs around Vancouver. I'm gonna pop into Safeway and have a coffee. Let's go and grab a coffee, eh? And you can have a little gander at what Canadian coffee culture is like. It's not really Canadian coffee culture. I think a lot of these multinational companies, they get sold off. I don't think they're even owned by Canadian owners anymore. I think I heard that actually it's a Brazilian company that owns Starbucks here in Canada. But with all of these new apartment buildings going up, you've got a lot of them are done by the same developers, and like on the ground floor they'll have like a rental office or a what do they call it, like a show home you can go up and look at. And yeah, there's just heaps of these little offices around. Maybe do a bit of shopping. Hi there.
What would you like?
Can I get an iced latte?
I just went like the more tired.
Thank you. Man, I haven't had coffee in the whole time since we've been here, so this is my first coffee in like over a week, and yeah, it's hitting the spot. There's another SkyTrain. So to the north of this, if you follow this road, you'll get to like a kind of lake area, or I think it might even be like an inlet from the ocean. And then you've got the mountains across the way. So to the north of here, you'll find all the big mountains where you'll like the ski slopes and stuff. There's like, I think Whistler's up that way, Squamish. Obviously there's huge mountains in the way to get there, but yeah, we can see some of the big mountains from our apartment basically. Now, one of the other things that I've noticed in not only Vancouver but around other places, probably more noticeably so in Vancouver and even the suburb where we are right now, is that the Asian population here is like huge, and I'm not 100% sure why, but yeah, it's just like a massive population, and these are not like immigrants. These are people who are like, you know, second, third, maybe even fourth generation settlers or children of original immigrants who came over. And yeah, it always like spins me out a little bit when, I don't know, this might come across completely wrong, and I hope it doesn't, but I expect, being in Australia and New Zealand, I didn't know growing up that many like Asian kids or families who didn't have to learn English, and so obviously they had like an accent, and there was some like stereotypical pronunciations of words that you get when you learn a new language. But here it always kind of surprises me or catches me off guard when I speak to someone like in the lift, and like Asian people, and they just have like a really strong Canadian accent. I don't know why it like wigs me out, but it just always catches me off guard. Maybe it's something I've got to get used to, but yeah, there's heaps of Asian people here. I don't think it's all from one place like China or Japan. It's like it seems to be a bit of a mixture. There's a like Korean place down here. We had some Korean food the other day. But yeah, obviously with that comes great food. I guess cultural diversity as well. There's celebrations of different cultures around Vancouver. I think it's quite an inclusive place, which is cool. But yeah, just like another thing that I've noticed since being here in and around Vancouver. When our house sit finishes, we've actually just lined up another house sit, so we're going to be in another suburb in Vancouver, a little bit closer to the city this time. We're going to be in North Vancouver, and we've got just a dog to look after, one dog, and he should be quite chill, or she should be quite chill. We've met them on FaceTime already, and yeah, we just kind of locked it in, ready to go for when we need accommodation again. So that's the plan anyway, is to like move into a new house set. We're just making the most of the house sets when we can, because obviously it saves us so much money. Now our mission here in Vancouver is to try and buy a van, a motorhome, something we can like travel around and sleep in. But because we're not like permanent residents here, we're here as like tourists, or we're here with a work permit, but yeah, we don't have like a residential address, so it's a little bit tricky. The other thing is we don't have any finance history here, so to get finance for like, if we wanted to get a nice, I was like, another dentist, what are we up to, 4, 5? Yeah, if we wanted to get like a really nice van, it would be a little bit tricky to do, because we need finance to do that. The other option when we buy a van is just to get something that's probably a little bit lower quality, but then we have the risk of it being unreliable. It's going to be a bit older, it's going to be maybe a couple of decades older than what we would have liked, but that's the fallback option, is just to buy something outright. There's a third part of the equation as well which we have to consider, and that is the taxes, because around Canada you actually pay different taxes based on where you are in each state. In Australia and New Zealand, where I've lived before, and even in England, it's just like a national tax rate that you pay. This is the YMCA building. There's a little cafe in there. There's a swimming pool as well, and a gym upstairs. Quite a cool little place. Haven't been in there, but it looks all new and modern as well, much like everything else here in Burquitlam. But yeah, the tax rate is different across Canada. So if we drive like to the east of where we are now, we're going to get stuff for, I think it's around 7% cheaper, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're considering like a purchase which may be like, I don't know, $70,000, 7% on that actually adds up to a good chunk of change, and I'd rather have that than not. The other thing is, in BC with vehicle insurance, BC, British Columbia, where we are now, you have to get your vehicle insurance through this state-run organisation, which I didn't realise, and that's, you can't argue with the prices. They're just set by the organisation, and you have to pay what they pay. Whereas if you go to Alberta or other parts of Canada, there's more competition, so you're going to get more competitive pricing. So I'm kind of thinking in my head, is it worth it to fly to Calgary from Vancouver, buy something there, and then continue our travels? I don't know. But yeah, there's a lot of moving parts. At the moment, I'm just waiting to hear back from the car or the RV company that we've been speaking to regarding our purchase. If we can go ahead with like a lease or something, then maybe we'll do it through them. If we can get approved for finance, maybe we'll do it through them. But yeah, it's a bit of a complicated journey. Now over here, behind some of these new big apartment buildings, you've got smaller new builds as well. So these are like, what are they called? Like townhouses, I guess. There's a finished one there, so you can see what the finished product is going to look like. And this one over here is, yeah, getting its cladding on. But you don't have to live in an apartment here. If you don't like apartment life, you could have a little townhouse. There are some nice little like residential colonial looking houses around as well, but yeah, there's in the kind of outskirts of this little suburb, there's a lot of really, really old looking places, and I think that they're going to go. But yeah, like I said, so this is like a new apartment building, and then here you've got access to like outdoor gym equipment, but there's actually a gym inside as well, so I'm not 100% sure if that's ever going to get used. But yeah, you can see the YMCA, good community facilities here for the local people. And like when I've been out walking the dog, I've seen like people doing fitness classes, like dance classes. There's like swim groups, play groups for the kids. There's lots of like community stuff here going on. So if you were working in Vancouver and you were like looking for, I don't know, like a cheaper place to live, because I know Vancouver is considered really, really expensive as a place to try and live. Moving out to one of these like satellite cities seems like it would be a good option. The quality of life, the community that you have. The only thing is you would have that commute on the SkyTrain, or whether you wanted to drive to work each day. But we've seen the traffic can be like really, really bad, especially if it's rainy or if there's been an accident. You can see it just like piles up on the highways coming out to these satellite cities at night. There's just rows and rows of white headlights. But yeah, interesting little place, isn't it? I don't know, I don't really think I had an idea of what Vancouver and its outer suburbs would be like, but I didn't expect to see these like satellite cities so built up like they are. I'm not sure why, but yeah, it's kind of like taking me by surprise. I mean, look at this. You can just see just apartment skyrises, boom, 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 townhouses, new ones going up. There's more cranes. It's just like construction everywhere, but like lovely spaces as well. Lovely little green spaces. I actually went for a run up the mountain when we first got here. I think it was the first day we got here, and I took the dog. We went running through the woods, running, and it's currently April here. I think it's the 1st or 2nd of April, so it's coming into like springtime now. And I get to the top of the mountain, and because there's a university up there, there's a lot of like information and signage. One of the signs that I saw when I was at the top was that bears have been spotted in this area. So instead of running back the way that I came and coming all back down through the woods, because that's the way that I went up the mountain, I was like, nah man, there's bears in there. So I actually took the longest way to get home, and I ended up getting stuck in like I was coming down the side of a highway. There was no footpath. It was kind of a little bit hectic. And I had the dog with me as well, so I had to carry him through some sections. But yeah, there's bears around here as well. Not in here. These cherry blossoms are so pretty as well. I don't think that they're native to Canada, but maybe they were brought over by Japanese. I'm not sure. I know it's like a huge thing in Japan, but I never really thought about them being in Canada. But they have a huge like cherry blossom festival here in Vancouver. I think it's on right now actually. We're not in the city, so we're kind of missing out a little bit. But yeah, there are bears in around this area. We actually saw on social media recently there was a bear sighting, not a bear sighting, a bear encounter in Burquitlam, which could actually be anywhere in this area, because when we've like had delivery sent to our address here, it's classified as Burquitlam, not Burquitlam, which the suburb name is. But yeah, this guy was like going out to his car, and this like bear just comes straight towards him from around the back of his car. He freaks out, but didn't like freak out completely, and managed to like back away slowly. And yeah, anyway, long story short, he was able to survive this encounter with the bear, as it had just woken up from hibernation, and it kind of charged him. And then he got into his car, shut his boot, and he stayed in his car while the bear shooed off. But kind of freaky. And there was a little baby bear with it as well, which is like the worst case scenario. If you ever see a bear, it's, you know, it could be okay. If you see a baby bear, no, it's not going to be a good time. Well, because they're, you know, so protective of their young, aren't they? But yeah, he survived. So that video, we saw that up on social media like a couple of weeks ago. That was in Burquitlam, somewhere around here. So when I'm out and I'm walking the dog, and I'm especially like in wooded areas, I'm definitely like keeping my wits about me. I don't have noise cancellation on my headphones or music up too loud, because if I hear anything, I want to be able to hear it, you know. But yeah, the video that guy shared, it was like his security footage from his like Ring camera, his like doorbell camera, of him in his driveway with this bear. It was just like, I don't know, it could have been any one of these. It just looked like a normal house in the suburbs, and there's just a bear wandering through the neighborhood. So this time of year is when they like wake up and start looking for food. But I don't think they spend too much time out and about. They kind of like do a bit of eating, then they sleep for like 20 hours. And I think as the summer gets on, they're like outdoors for a lot longer. I think they're all getting excited for the salmon, the salmon to be coming back. But yeah, these are the burbs. Suburbs. The suburbs of Vancouver. More construction over here. It's just non-stop, isn't it? It's kind of crazy. Now, if you wanted to see my experience of Vancouver and a more refined video of like what to do in Vancouver City, I've made another video which is on my other channel. It'll pop up in the end credits of this video. But yeah, it's good. Maybe like 48 hours or 72 hours in Vancouver. Lots of cool things to do, and yeah, much more edited and refined than these videos. But just in case you're interested, you can go and check it out there. It's called CJ Explores.
Wait.
These street signs, or these pedestrian crossing buttons, they always have birds on the like speaker. So when you're waiting for the crossing signal to tell you to go, you're just like waiting for a bird. But I always think, if I hear a bird fly past and do some chirping, I'm gonna think it's like safe to cross. Actually, that sounded more like a beep, but some of them sound like birds. Look at these little areas. So this is a new build as well, and this is quite a nice little communal space. Like, especially if you had dogs in your flat, in your apartment, there's a nice little area where you can take them down and like meet the neighbours. I do think there is opportunity for community in apartment living, but it's very, very easy to slip into the habit of just never really meeting your neighbours. I've certainly done that before. I've experienced that before, living in apartments in like Australia and stuff. Yeah, you have to make a conscious effort if you want to grow community. But it's like anything, isn't it? If you want something to be good, you have to like work at it. Like any relationship in life, I guess. You can't just like expect it to be good. You have to actually put in effort to make it worth anything, and then other people see you putting an effort, they put an effort, and it's like a, I don't know, what do they call that? Like a flywheel. Once the momentum gets going, lots of cool stuff starts happening, gatherings, barbecues, then it's like a thing that just automatically runs itself. But yeah, if you want to build that, you have to put the effort in. I do kind of look forward to the day where we settle down somewhere and have a little community. We've had examples of it, we've had little tastes of it in the past. In the UK, we lived in a little town called Newquay, kind of like a little surf town, and yeah, it was really cool. We just like had our little group of people. We'd go swimming in the morning in the ocean. We've had a couple of seasons of that actually. We've had little community groups in that town, and then also in Australia we had a good little bunch of friends in our local community as well. But yeah, we're just, like I said, you can't just expect that stuff to happen automatically. You have to really work on it. I can see the mountain now. It's Burnaby Mountain up there, the university at the top, and there's good views up there. I went to the top of that with the dog and there's really good views. But yeah, obviously it's a little bit smaller, kind of like houses around here. There's a little animal hospital, kind of more residential, but yeah, I guess all of this is gonna go up eventually, isn't it? There's loads of little apartment dogs around here as well. We met a few at the dog park the other day, and it was a very eclectic bunch of dogs. There was a husky, a golden retriever or Labrador, a whippet, a Akita, and a Dalmatian. So like something from every breed of dog. It was great. But yeah, heaps of little dogs which are like more suited to apartment living, I guess. And the whippet that we've got is like a perfect example of that. Yes, he's very fast, but he's a very like cuddly little thing. He's a tiny little bony dog, but he loves to get underneath the covers and like steal your body heat. He actually sleeps in the bed between my wife and I, and he just steals our body heat all night, and he just stretches out. He's a little rat bag. I can see there's another, let's go and have a look actually. Development application for this plot of land. And you can see across from it as well, these old houses. So these old houses over here, and then basically they want to build that, which is essentially another one of those on this big plot right here. So a 12 lot assembly, multi-story medium density apartment residential. But these things, like, they're obviously, when they go up, they're so primed and ready to have like little shops and cafes and restaurants in the bottom of them. I've seen this firsthand in Australia, where there's like fancy new apartment buildings go up, and in the bottom, on the bottom floor, all around the base of it, they've got like yoga studios, Pilates, cafes, bakeries, liquor stores, like lots of opportunity for like new businesses to come in and have like a really strong customer base of like local residents. And I'm sure if you did it right and you treated those local residents like your bread and butter, which essentially they are, you'll just never go out of business. It's like a really great little like what do they call that, like a microcosm, or like a self-sufficient community. So there is opportunity for that. I haven't seen a lot of it here. I think they could be doing more. Like, for example, the apartment building we're in, I know it's more of like a luxury apartment kind of building, and it's not like a thoroughfare really, like with a main street. Some of the other apartments on the main street, they do have shops in the bottom, pizza shops and stuff like that. By the way, look at the color of these. So beautiful, eh? I don't know what kind of plant that is, but yeah, it's not autumn, and that's very autumnal colors. But yeah, there's like, so the apartments on the main street, they do have more of these kind of like shops around the base, around the ground level, but the one that we're in doesn't. But I think those ones there, where it's like 4 or 5 story high, like medium block of flats, they're really, they should be creating some space for like a, you know, community hub, like a little cafe or a bakery or something, because I think they would do really well. And not only that, it's nice for the community to get around as well. But yeah, like I said, business opportunity. I'm thinking with my business head. I don't know what these places rent for. In fact, let's have a quick look. I'm gonna have a quick look and check to see what one of these like new 2-bedroom places rent for. Skytrain. Alright, let's see. Rentals. Nah, that can't be right. Oh, is that monthly? Hang on. I was thinking, wow, those prices are super high, but I think they do things by monthly here, don't they? Oh, these are sales. 1.4 million for a 3-bedroom apartment in the building that we're in. Wow. Doesn't actually look like there's a lot to rent. 2,850 per month. Okay, that's probably not too bad. $700 a week. That's for 2 bedrooms. Quite a nice big apartment. Yeah, I don't know. I stand by what I said earlier. I think if you do want to have a nice apartment and you don't want to live in Vancouver City, then this is quite affordable. I feel like that's quite a nice, for, you know, obviously like a certain standard of living. If you were, I don't know, not if you were unemployed, I don't think you could live in one of these buildings, but if you had a decent job, you know, like a full-time job, I'm sure most people could budget to afford it. But yeah, $700 a month, a week, it's not too bad. It's not too bad in 2026. I feel like things, yeah, have got a little out of hand over the last few years, and yeah, a lot of places are taking advantage of people, taking advantage of the situation, and yeah, taking advantage of people's, I guess, like lack of knowledge or just not understanding of like how things work. Like a lot of places, obviously when the pandemic happened, everyone just like shrugged their shoulders and went, the cost of all of our goods are gone up. But then at the same time, all of their profits went up as well. So you have to question, you know, what's the reality like of especially of businesses telling you one thing, but then you watch another thing happen. It's, yeah, take it all with a grain of salt. I'm gonna go into the supermarket. I need to get some supplies, some food for breakfast, maybe a bit of dinner. And if you want, you can come with me and have a look inside the Safeway. I don't know if it's a Canadian brand or American, but it's like, we've seen it across Canada from the first week that we were here. The Safeway is like the big supermarket here. So yeah, if you want to get good priced products, then Safeway is probably a good bet, with a certain standard as well. Nice big supermarket. Got my Avos.
Use PIN pad to complete transaction.
It's so handy having like a massive shop here. near all these apartments. I bet this place makes loads of money as well, because it's like probably the best store nearby where you can get like proper good stuff. But I'm excited for the next place we're going to, North Vancouver, which is across the water from like the main city, the main downtown area. And yeah, that means that we'll be able to look back at the city, the skyline. I think it's like a normal townhouse. It's not going to be like a massive apartment building like we're in now, but it should be a nice little stay. I think the owner, or the the owner of the dog that we're sitting, is quite an avid traveller as well, him and his wife. So when we spoke to them on the phone, they said that they met while travelling as well. So similar to my wife and I, our origin story. Yeah. But yeah, it's going to be nice to be on the other side as well, because we'll be closer to the mountains, so we can do some of the other touristy things that you can do here in Vancouver, which is get up into the mountains and do some of the hikes. There's Capilano Suspension Bridge, which is a really popular one. There's like a whole park up there, but there's also another suspension bridge you can do, which is for free, because the Capilano Suspension Bridge, I think it's like $150 for two people. I think it's like $75 each for you both to do the suspension bridge park. Now there is other things in there as well, not just a suspension bridge, but I mean, it seems like a lot of money to spend on just going into a park for the day. So that's why a lot of people say online is like, don't bother going to the Capilano Suspension Bridge, go to the other one nearby. I think it's called Lynn Canyon, maybe. Little suspension bridge. Is like much more, I guess, like rustic. It's managed by the Parks Canada as opposed to like a private entity. I think the major difference between the two is that Capilano Suspension Bridge, they actually offer a shuttle bus system from like the main Vancouver downtown area, so you can jump in like a shuttle bus and get access straight to the park, which the other one obviously doesn't do, because it's just like you just have to get there yourself. But the other cool thing about our next house sit as well is that we get access to a car. That's one of the cool things that can happen when you're house sitting. You get a car, you get a pet to look after, and you get a place to stay. Another dentist. This is like some of the little shops and cafes. Korean place here. But this is like an older strip mall. There's a Chinese restaurant, Japanese fusion, tonkatsu. Little hair salon. I feel like these places, this building here, I feel like has been here since, I don't know, the 80s maybe. But yeah, these places look like they're nice, they're popular. We've even got a little McDonald's here, which I went in there the other day just to get a little like breakfast roll, little egg McMuffin, and the atmosphere in the McDonald's is not something that I've really ever, I don't know, experienced in other countries. In like Australia, New Zealand, England, McDonald's is like a rushed, stressful, kind of a hectic experience. But here in this McDonald's, this little local one, everyone was sitting down. I think I was the only person in there, or there might have been another one or two people in there on their own, but everyone else was at a table with another person, and they were just like hanging out at McDonald's. It was really weird. Like, I haven't seen that before in any other places. I'm just looking up because that's our apartment building. Isn't it massive? It's so big. But yeah, the McDonald's experience, I'm not sure if it's just this one here, this little one, but it was a different experience to something I've ever had before. It was quite nice to sit in there and have my Egg McMuffin. But yeah, front entrance to the apartment building is luxurious, as you would expect. We've got nice water features, fancy little logo, Smith and Farrow. That's just the name of the two streets really, that this intersection, and up and up and up, and right up the very, very top you can see that circle in the top, which is what we saw earlier. But yeah, very luxurious. Even all of this is very high tech, and you can just wave and the door opens automatically. Look at that. This one as well. There's a girl in there with a little puppy. Super nice in here. Might just before we wrap up, pop into the gym. I'll show you what the gym looks like, because it is really nice. Look at that. It's quite a nice space, isn't it? Like a yoga space. But I came in here just the other day and did like a workout class on Apple Fitness. But yeah, nice. And we've got, you can see the pool out to the sauna, and then the actual gym space through here. All the free weights, yeah, everything that you need, it's great. And then like TVs all around as well. TVs you can access, rowing machine, another big mirror. Very luxurious, isn't it? I like it. And then there's like, down here, I don't know what these are because I can't access them, but we've got music rooms, as well as more like, I don't know, are these like meeting rooms or something? Yeah, just a whole lot of luxury. That is it, that's been our experience for the past week or so, just living here and enjoying apartment life in Canada. They still have the moving blankets up on the walls of the elevator. Just, I guess there's still people moving in, still like free apartments. But yeah, it's been super nice. It's been very enjoyable to have this level of luxury and comfort. I'm going to go and have a session in the gym, and then I'm going to go and jump in the sauna and make the most of it while we can, because I think we're only here for another, I think it's another 4 days, and then we're on to the next place. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this, then subscribe, and if you want to see more of Vancouver, go check out the other channel, and I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching, talk to you soon.